Welcome today on how to kill your grandparents. They make it look like an accident so you can collect insurance money. Ah! Hey, just kidding though. What we are going to be doing is we are going to be doing the reassembly of the drums on the 10.25 Sterling. Sterling. Not a Dana! Totally different. Ah! Probably similar though. I'll be upgrading later, but I just want to make this video on reassembly. I think I'll start this job without coffee! Have you lost your mind?
I think I'll make some coffee. That's good.
I need more! Yeah. They're like, hey, let's make some coffee. But it won't be coffee because it's kind of like tea because I only could have put a couple sprinkles in it, something like that.
Oh, some engine oil. That's the way I like my men, black and strong.
So here we are. We are back to the garage and we are now going to get started on this drum reassembly. Bug zapper, check. Glue gun, check. Coffee, check. Ford, check. The first thing you're looking at when you take off your wheel is this very, very big drum. I have one stacked on top of the other. Hi, kitty. The next thing you're looking at is going to be something that looks like this. This is the hub. This is a full floating axle. This is what it looks like. This is a jam nut. You got to take this off. You got to have a special tool to take this guy off because this is what's holding this guy on, the actual spindle of the axle. To take off the driver's side, it is, again, righty, is loosey on this. Look at the threads, righty is loosey. However, passenger side, lefty is loosey. Time out. I do make another separate video on how to properly take these off and reset these with the jam nuts and the tool, but I will go ahead and do the speedy process and continue on. The tool you need to take off this jam nut or this lock nut, whatever you want to call it, there's a couple different names for it, 5 names for every whore. So this is the tool to take off the jam nut. Check out my other video. These things are all over line. Jam nut removal tool for blah, 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 blah. You can figure it out. I did. You can too. Moving on. This is not a hub video. Inspecting. Now you can do this without ever removing the hub. You can inspect this piece to make sure there's no cracks. Refer to your owner's manual for pad thickness. Pad. This is the pad. Pad thickness. Because pad thickness is totally in my owner's manual, you freaking... You just want to make sure she got some meat on her bone. Never mind me, kitty. You know, you don't want to like no hoe on no meth or nothing like that. She ain't got no meat on her bones, but you definitely want her like pork chop, like coming fresh out the winter like it's May or something like that. Girlfriend done gained 10 pounds. Yeah, that's how you want these pads. Uh-oh! Yeah, I got a crack. Aw, snap. And of course, butt-ass naked looks like this. Okay, so here we are. We are going to start this, and all I'm going to use is one of a special kind of flathead that looks like that, and they do make tools for this, but this is my special brake drum screwdriver I've had for years, and I've modified it. And then I'm going to use an 11 millimeter, whoops, wrong side, 11 millimeter, and I'm going to take off this nut that's on the back side of this right here where I'm tapping. Okay, here we go. Okay, there's my nut. I'm going to throw it on the ground so I can kick it and lose it. Ta-da. Now what I'm going to do, this is spring loaded right here. So I'm just going to wiggle it, wiggle. And you might even use your special Ford tool, wiggle it, and she'll pop right out. Okay? Alright, you'll notice how the cable's back behind here, but pay a little mind to that. We'll do that in assembly. Okay, so now I'm just going to pull this down, and I don't know if you can see this or not. Again, I'll explain it a little bit further in detail. It just popped out of there like that. And you'll watch me reassemble this. Now this guy's kind of a booger, really. See how I did that with my hand? Hope you caught that. Just gotta muscle it, turn it, twist it, pops right off. Not the easiest, but yeah. Alright. Oh, and by the way, this is the passenger side. I don't know if you caught that or not because of the drive shaft over there, but passenger side, right side, starboard, whatever. Okay, so now we're looking at this. Now, I realize that this comes all separate in a brand new kit. Okay, so first, you have your spring-loaded bolt right there. He goes first. And then you have your lever. You put on your lever. And this is all pressed on.
my camera will adjust for you. There it went. Okay. Then you have this other little bracket. This guy makes the shoes move. Okay, he's got to be specific. He's got to go like that. Okay. You see that there? Looks like that. Second bracket has to go like that. That's the guy that pivots when the parking brake hits and it makes the shoes move back and forth. Okay, then the next thing is the cable. Okay, it's supposed to look like that. It's got to follow. It's got to follow that arm. Looks like that. Okay, bottom of it looks like that. Follow me so far? Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and keep ripping this apart. So what I'm going to do, watch this. This is the part that I kind of learned on my own. I'm just going to push against this red spring. There's a name for it. I forget. And there is a specific way how these springs go in. We'll get to that on the reassembly. Okay. Same thing. I'm just going to push it, release that tension, pull up, pops right out. That easy, guys. Holy Toledo. Yeah. By the way, I actually did that wrong. I should have did the, if I can talk today, I should have done the mounting hardware should have been last. I forgot that step. But hey, it's okay. So now I'm just going to pop off the green spring. Say bye-bye, green spring. Bye-bye. See you later. All right, then I have this down here. All right, looks like that. Looks like that. No worries. I'll explain it all. Okay, red spring looks like that. Other one looks like that. Follow me so far? This out was not easy, so I'll even help you out with that one as well. Try to talk a little bit louder. My furnace is actually kicking on, and I'll actually just turn that off. Just bear with me here. There we go. Sorry, furnace. I want my people watching to be able to see what the heck is going on. Alright. So we're down to nothing. We're down to nothing, right? And then that here, okay, that guy there, we all know that that's the wheel cylinder. And this one is incredibly old. I would be replacing it. It's not leaking, but it looks very, very old, and it's only a matter of time till it does start leaking. So I'm actually gonna I'm actually doing a conversion kit video, and as soon as I put this back together, I'll be ripping it back apart just to show you how to reassemble these very confusing drums. So don't feel alone. It took me a learning curve how to put them back together once already before. And parking brake cable, I don't know if you're messing with that or not. Let's see here if I can give you any quick pointers. If you are messing with it, it's a typical Ford teeth. You just push down the prongs right there, and you pull out, and it'll come right out. Nothing new, nothing complex. Sorry about the angles of the video. I'm trying to think while talking. Well, for some people, it's not the easiest. Okay, so let's start with this guy. We will start by doing this, and it's gonna look like that. Okay, see how I just took that? Goes like that. Gotta hurry up here. I don't want this video to take too much time. Okay, the weird little bracket. Okay, take the weird little bracket. Looks like this. Say hi, bracket. Help. Okay, and so what we're gonna do is we are going to first depress him like that. Okay, follow me so far. Okay, all I did is I just, oops, let me make sure you saw that. Stick it there, and then you're going to push it up. See how it went like that, little groove? See, now I'm going to make the spring go up on this side, like that, assuming this is all new stuff. Yay, looks like that. Okay, and then these little guys, little nail-looking things. Here, I'll just show you real quick. It looks like that. That's the way they're supposed to look. I'm going to put him back. And then here's the bolts to pop this off for whatever reason. Come on, baby. I can't find the hole, Jimmy. Can't find the hole. Alright, so it looks like that. And now, the very, very, very first thing I'm going to do with starting this is you got to hang it. You gotta hang it. That's the step I kind of jumped the gun on, but that's alright. Okay, so you make sure that he is in place properly. See that little spot right there? Got to make sure that wheel seal, and he will kind of push out a little bit because of, you know, gravity and fluids. Just pushing back with your hand. That's all you need. Okay. See if I can speed this up. Okay. And then all I'm going to do is take my handy dandy special Ford tool. Try not hit myself in the face with the recoil. Just take it with one hand, push it just like that. Come on, baby. And voila! That side is on. That side is good, good, good. Okay, push this guy, push the seal back. Yeah! Okay. And then, alright, so now on this other part, again, I'm going to do my hanging hardware. That's the very first part you start on. Oh, shoot, I got it upside down. Get on there!
Your mother doesn't love you. She put you up for adoption, honey.
Alright, so that looks like that. Now, see, not the hook end, but the other end that kind of looks like that, you stick it in the hole. Okay, take special note on how the springs are pointing because it's critical. Alright, it's critical. Notice how the springs are pointing down like that. The heads of them, they're pointing downward towards the adjuster. Alright? Oh, snap. Now, this is not easy, okay? So if it takes you, a while, it is what it is. Probably should have sent it off to a mechanic, if you didn't really want to do it. Life sucks. Then you die. Well, first you pay taxes, then you die. Oh, excuse me. I had the spring backwards. See how easy it is to get it backwards? So the springs are both pointing that way. I lied. Oh, shit! Alright, I just now got that on, and you notice how that spring is pointing downward. See how he's pointing downward like that? That's what you want. I just didn't have him up far enough, this whole shoe. It just wasn't quite seating right. It's kind of giving me trouble with this mounting guy right there, so we'll continue. Okay, so I got my camera professionally sitting on a stand all cockeyed. Okay, so this part's critical. That way is the front of the vehicle. This has to go on these little points. Right there is one, goes in that little cup, and then let's see, this guy right there goes on the plus side. Looks like that. Okay, this is going to be must be a purple spring or something. Goes in the middle hole. You will see how there are 3 holes right there. It's going to go on the middle hole, just like that. And it holds it in there just like that. It has to go this way. It has to. It's just the way it's designed. Try to set this just like that. Purple spring. Come on, you mother effer. Okay, here comes our special tool. And just kind of very ever so gently flop it in there like that. See how I did that? Should be one real quick movement like that. No dilly-dally. Like that. So now I'm going to stick this guy up in here like that. Again, that's the nose of the vehicle. And you want it all the way down, bottomed out. It's just easier if you bottom this out. Okay, right? Opens up over time from the pads wearing out. It's just the adjustment thing. I forget the technical name, but hell. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to keep on keeping on. Just pulling it, I'm muscling it, pulling it apart, and boom, she's in. You can see that, how it went in that easy. And hopefully it doesn't flip the video orientation when I'm smashing this together. Alright, so now I'm going to back you up. Okay, next I suppose you do the green spring, assuming that your kit has the green spring. I'm pretty sure that's just the way they come. This guy goes right here. Alright, and it doesn't matter if you flip it this way or that way on this one. Okay, and then it goes on that middle guy right there. And it should be flush. Shouldn't bound up with the shoe hardware. All right, here we go. Watch, watch, watch. Then I'm going to kind of stick it in that hole. Now this one I think caused me kind of an issue, and it took me a few tries. Your hole, get in your hole. Trying to get it to where you can see up close, so you can see all you need is this special. Oh, look at that! Flopped right in there. I love it when it just flops right in. Alright, so here we go. So hopefully you have your guy like this. And it does have a little R for really cool. I'm just kidding. The right means right side. L means left side. Left side. In case you're in a different country and the steering wheel's on the opposite side. Well, come on now. The nose of the vehicle is north. Don't overcomplicate it. So, looks like that, and our final picture is going to look like this. Now, this is the most trickiest part, Alright, pay attention to this. I'm now going to grab the red cable, I said the red cable. I'm going to take this cable and I'm going to stick it right back here, like this. It's critical. You must do this part. Critical. If I can talk today. All right. And so what I'm going to do, the next thing after it's sitting behind that, is I'm now going to stick it. I want you to see this. I'm now going to stick it like this. And I'm going to wiggle it. Now this is a fight. I'm not going to lie, this part stinks. This is the worst part of all this, is getting the head of that to fit in that hole. I'm going to try to balance this to where you can watch me fight it, where you are not alone. I was alone. No one helped me. Son of a bitch. And you just kind of F it real hard and throw a few cuss words at her, get her all intimidated, and twisty. That's the trick. Yeah. Oh, dear God. This camera's in the way. Well, I guess you could do the cable second just for fighting, but again, you just push it. There it went. Now the camera's out of the way. Blame it on you as the viewer. You're the problem. There it went. What a real effing blankety blank. Alright, so now back to the cable. I'm going to feed the cable down in there. Has to go behind that hook like that. Trust me. It's caused issues earlier when I was trying to learn how to put this thing together. Alright, so now you'll see how that arm down there for the adjustment is below. That's what you want. See where I'm wiggling that? That's where you want that, okay? If yours doesn't look like that, you need to stop, question life. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it like this. It goes like this. Now this is kind of confusing. Alright, I can't really change the picture at all. But what you do is you just push it up against it and you push downward. You might have to wiggle it a little bit. Come on, you turd. Push. There it went. And then it snapped into place. I'm glad you saw my struggle. It happens. It's just drums stink, man. They're old as the dinosaurs. Yeah. Alright. Okay. So now, this is where it gets easier. I'm going to back you up a little bit. It does get easier. So now, I'm going to leave this cable flopping for a second. See that point right there? Has to be pointing outward like that. Okay? Alright, so let's continue. Alright, so now, you just feed this back in place, like this. You get mad at it, you scream it, you kick at it. And I'm in a bind. I'm glad you're seeing this, because this is part of the nature of the beast. Get in there. Oh, I will kill you. You'll die today. Let's wiggle, jiggle. Handy dandy forward tool. Okay, this part stumped me too the last time I did this, and I want to mention this. My parking brake cable is actually slightly seized. I forgot that I was playing with it. So this is actually really good this happened, because now you get to see on how to unfreeze them up. Now I'm going to use my flathead, and I'm going to place my flathead right there on the bottom of this arm. Make sure you can see that. And I'm going to whack it. I'm going to try to hold my arm up here so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, I'm just going to use my hammer, and I could use my hand. Okay, like that. And now, I don't know if you can tell, but it pulled that arm like that, and it was messing with the geometry up on top. Alright, so I wanted to make a note on this critical part. I'm going to pull this back off here. And if you look, where my finger is tapping, there's basically a little tooth sticking out, and there's a tooth on top sticking up. Well, if you look at my damage on where I was trying to get it to go on, it's going on here, and it was pushing on this pad, and it was making it twist up like that. So when you go to do this, make sure that these teeth are straight up and down, so it goes on top and bottom right there and on there. That was the issue. There we go. Now you can see that the geometry is a full circle. It's not like pulling out and everything. It's all because that tooth was partially off and it was pushing against that shoe at the bottom right there. Alright, let's continue on. This is turning into a way longer video than what I wanted. Still one last pretty much thing to do. My cable is sticking out. Now all you do is you just pull up on this, on the bottom. You see that little arm? I don't know if you can or not. The little magic arm that I'm pulling on down here. Okay, you just pull up on it like that. It gives me slack for my cable. This part's easy. You just follow it around with your finger and it pops right in. Okay. Then you just make sure that it's down there on your adjuster, and you're good to go. That's it. And then what you do is you go get your drum. Okay, now this part takes a little bit of patience, and I'm sure there's other mechanics out there that is going to have a very speedy process on that, but you're watching me right now. And assuming you're going to have new pads when you go to put this on, okay, so it's pretty floppy, right? I'm skipping my hub and everything. There's a hub that goes here, yada yada. And I'm just going to start twisting this thing. Hear that clicking? You see that down there? I'm turning that now, and what it's doing is it's pushing my shoes outward. And as you're driving and backing up, I think it's backing up, and as you push the brakes, this lever naturally pushes it. It's been a while since I read that chapter in brakes, but all you do, there's an opening in the back here, and you can adjust this with everything put on. And you want it to where it's barely grabbing. That's what you want. See how it's barely going on like that? Ta-da! Alright, so I wanted to repeat that little last part, running out of space on my phone. Hey, if you want to donate, hit me up so I can get a better phone so I can keep making videos. Really though, so you want to make sure that this is tight up against this nipple that's part of this thing. You want to make sure these C's like that of the shoes are pressed up against there. And you want to start at the bottom when you're adjusting this. I wanted to go back to this, and I wanted to really hit home on it. And you want this to be all the way adjusted outward to where it starts to catch on your drum. And you go from there. You go from there. When it does, you can even pump up your brake a little bit. You can even take it for a drive, jack it back up if you want, but that's really to the extreme. You just want to get it to where it's pretty much catching, and this is flush up here, because that wheel cylinder will start to push out gradually. And it should draw back in with the springs, but that's just how it's designed. So, hey, best of luck. It's been a lot of my time making these videos for you. For you to like and subscribe, and if you don't, I'll just delete them all, and I'll laugh.